Good morning and welcome to 755 Live, about 5 minutes of what Jesus said. You can find a different command of Jesus every weekday at the Bible Plan at bible.today.church. These Jesus Said segments are soundbite versions of what Jesus said so we can obey and live his commandments. Today, Jesus said, "Pure hearts see God." What is a pure heart, and what does it mean that we will see God? We're reading today from Matthew 5:8, part of the Beatitudes. I'm going to read from a couple of different versions today. First, from the NET version: "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." And that word "blessed" means an active process. And the New Living Translation says, "God blesses those whose hearts are pure, for they will see God." For the audience that this was written to and that Jesus spoke these words to, the heart literally meant the thoughts, mind, feelings. We kind of have a different understanding of heart many times in our cultural context. Good morning, Malcolm. Thank you for checking in. We say phrases like, "bless your heart," or "bless his heart." And in Texas or in the South, that usually isn't a good thing. Or if someone is struggling and makes a mistake, many times we'll say, "Oh, but he or she has a good heart." Well, actually, none of us have a good heart. Jeremiah 17:9 tells us very clearly that the human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really knows how bad it is? Jesus told us in Matthew 15:19 that from the heart, from our thoughts, our mind, our feelings, come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. So what does it mean to be pure? Well, in order to really see God, in order to really understand him, we must be pure in heart. In Hebrews 9:14, it says, "How much more will the blood of Christ, who through the eternal Spirit offered himself without blemish to God, purify our consciences from dead works to worship the living God." Purify our consciences. That is where the pure heart comes from. The blood of Christ, who offered himself without blemish to God, that is what purifies us through the Holy Spirit. You see, the original sin of Adam and Eve, the results of that were a conscience that needed to cover up. Adam and Eve hid and tried to cover up their sin from God. We can never see, know, understand, or really worship God covered by our guilt and shame. Pure hearts see God. That's where the happiness is. That's where the blessing is. In 1 John 3:2-3, we're reminded, "Dear friends, we are God's children now, and what we will be has not yet been revealed. We know that whenever it is revealed, we will be like him because we will see him just as he is. And everyone who has this hope focused on him purifies himself just as Jesus is pure." You see, this is a process, but it's a process that we don't have to live up to. It's a process of us understanding what Jesus so completely did for us. And many of the symbols and rituals that we practice in Christianity are to remind us of this truth. Even baptism, 1 Peter 3:21, baptism is not about the washing off of physical dirt with the water, but it is the pledge of a good conscience to God through the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Pure hearts see God. The only way to have a pure heart is to be truly forgiven. And the only way to be truly forgiven is to receive the goodness that Jesus provided for us. That's where the happiness is. It is being released from our conscience of guilt and shame and doubt and worry. Pure hearts see God. How can we actually pursue that kind of purity? Well, it's by obeying the commands of Jesus and laying down our guilt and shame and picking up a clear conscience that only He can give. Pure hearts see God. How can we put that into practice today?